middle of your chair, back away from the back of your chair. Starting by grounding from the feet, feeling your feet, toes spread wide, heels on the ground or blocks if your legs don't quite reach to the ground. And then just kind of taking this body scan from your feet, ankles, up through your shins, calves, to your knees, up to your thighs, hips, low back, and then from your hips and your sits bones, imagine reaching up tall through the crown of your head, and then notice your shoulders and see if you can relax your shoulders, maybe wiggle them out a little bit. And we'll take a few deep breaths. Hands can be relaxed on your legs. Inhaling, filling up, creating space, and exhaling slowly to ground. Imagine your exhales drawing you down to connect you to the earth. So taking another deep breath and noticing your exhale drawing you deeper into that groundedness, that surety within you. And we'll start to find some movement. Inhaling, sweeping your arms up overhead. Remember, you could bend your elbows as well. Exhale, hands to heart center. Connecting your thumbs to your sternum just for a moment. And then inhale, taking a nice deep breath. Look up towards your fingertips. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Nice big inhale. Looking up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Bring your hands down to your knees. Maybe step your feet a little bit wider. And keep one hand grounded on your knee as you reach the other arm up and over for a side stretch. Sweep your arm down, placing that hand on your knee. Inhale the other arm up and over. Reaching nice and tall. Sweeping your arm down. Let's do that on each side one more time. One hand to your knee, sweeping the other arm up. Sweep it back down, hand on your knee. Sweep the other arm up and over. Bringing it back down. Now reaching both arms up. Elbows could be bent. Open up to one side, resting your front hand on your knee. The back arm can just hang by your side or maybe drape over the back of your chair or place your elbow on your chair. Seated nice and tall, looking off to the side. Feel both feet in the ground still. Look toward the back of your chair a little bit farther. Turn just your head to look forward over your shoulder the other direction. Turning your head to look back again. Look off to the side. Inhale, sweeping both arms up to center. Exhale, opening up to the other side. Front hand rests on the opposite knee. Back hand can rest to your side or over your chair or elbow on your chair. Take some deep breaths to find that long spine. Looking back over your shoulder. Slowly turn just your head to look forward. Over your other shoulder. Look back again. And to the side, releasing that spinal twist, coming back to center, reach your arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. So elbows out wide, fingers spread wide, lift up through your heart center. And imagine spreading all that love, acceptance, grace out. Good, bring your arms down by your side, shake your hands out, arms out. And we'll take some shoulder circles, starting backward, one shoulder at a time, alternating back, and then maybe lifting those elbows. rowing motion, going backwards, maybe straight arms, taking the back stroke. So whatever, you can keep your arms straight. I have a little issue going on in one of my shoulders, so I'm trying to take it a little bit easier when I'm teaching my classes right now. And then go ahead and start to come forward in your shoulders. Opposite direction, breathing. And then maybe lifting those elbows or straight arms, taking some swimming motions forward. I'm going to keep my elbows bent though. Nice. You can always go faster or slower than me. And then finishing up with your arms down by your sides, shake them out again. And let's take some double shoulder, kind of leaning forward and then rowing back as if you're holding on to 2 oars in a rowboat. So just pulling them back, leaning forward, pulling them back. Good. You might feel that deep core engagement as you lean back. Try to keep that same engagement as you lean forward. And only going to your pain-free range of motion. A couple more times. Breathing. Nice. Finish up, release your hands. Take a moment here just to feel your hands. Notice how, I love this, how we can feel things in our body without touching them or even looking at them. So you can even close your eyes and notice any tingling or pulsing in your hands. Good. And then we're going to work up into the neck and shoulders a little bit more. So start by bringing your chin towards your chest, feeling that stretch on the back of your neck. Maybe even round forward a little bit more into a little bit of a cat position, allowing your shoulders to round forward. And then slowly inhale up to a neutral spine. And then look over one shoulder to one side. Look back to center. Look over the other shoulder to the other side, noticing how your neck is feeling, how far you can go. Come back to center. Good. Bring your chin to your chest again. And then roll one ear toward one shoulder. Chin back to chest. Other ear towards your other shoulder. Bring your chin back to chest and lifting your chin up to neutral. So bring one hand to your opposite shoulder as far as you can reach it up towards your neck. And so you're going to tip your ear toward your shoulder. So you're going the opposite direction. So I have my left hand on my right shoulder and my left ear toward my left shoulder, in case you're wanting some directions that way. And go ahead and tip your chin down, and as you're doing this, you can massage into the side of your neck, or your shoulder, the collarbone area maybe, and then start tipping your head back. Just noticing any muscles that need a little love, breathing into them as well. Tip your head forward again. And then bring it up to the side and then up to center. Nice and slow. When you get there, take a little wiggle. Just allow your head to kind of float on top. Notice the differences between the two sides of your neck after we did this. And then bring your other hand up to your opposite shoulder. Tip your ear over to the side. So this time I have my right hand to my left shoulder. and my right ear toward my right shoulder. Again, starting to notice where you'd like to take that massaging movements, and then tip your chin down towards your chest. Breathing, exploring with your fingers, and then tip your head back so your ear is towards your shoulder still. And you can kind of work into different muscles. Breathing, tip your head forward again. You can even go all the way up into your jaw. And then slowly coming back to neutral. Bringing your head up. Again, maybe a little bit of a wiggle. You can keep your eyes closed. You can roll your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Notice any sensations. I feel heat on the side that I just massaged. I noticed a lengthening on both sides of my neck now. And then the last thing we'll do for this area are our shoulder shrugs. So remember, if your neck pain typically is on the sides of your neck, to do these shoulder shrugs sitting nice and straight. But if you typically have neck pain in the back of your neck, then hunch forward like you're in a mini cat position, and then do those shoulder shrugs in that position. So I'm going to sit up straight, but you choose whether you're hunched forward or seated nice and tall. And then bring your shoulders up towards your ears, hugging them about 50 to 80%, no pinching or pain. Close your eyes, bring your awareness internally. Slowly lower your shoulders down, melting out any shaky, sticky spots until your shoulders melt all the way down and you release all tension. When you get to the bottom, take a breath and then bring your shoulders up towards your ears again. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. Slowly lower them down. If you notice, especially bumpy spot, then you can you can lift those shoulders back up an inch and kind of redo that spot again. So slowly lowering them all the way down, melting out all tension. Take a breath. And then bring your shoulders up. We'll do it 2 more times. So shoulders up towards your ears. 3, 2, 1. And slowly lower them down. If you've been doing this on a daily basis or frequently throughout the week, not just in these classes, I'd love to know if this is helping you. And release all tension at the bottom. And then last time, shoulders up towards your ears. And releasing it slowly. This last time, again, if you hit a bumpy spot, just redo it. Coming back up an inch. Slowly release all the way to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, take a breath and let's just kind of rock side to side like a blade of grass blowing in the breeze. And as you're doing that, lift one shoulder and then the other. Good. So release your shoulders down, shake your hands out to the sides, and close your eyes. Notice what you feel in your neck and your shoulders. Notice if anything's changed after all of that work that we've done. And allow your brain to register any positive changes that feel good to you. Your brain needs a moment to integrate that. So we'll go ahead and start working more into the torso and hips, taking some seated cat and cow movements. So rounding your spine, chin to chest. We've done a little bit of this already. Inhale, lifting up to cow. Pulling your shoulders back, tipping your pelvis forward, and then rounding your your spine into cat. Chin to chest. Inhale up to cow. Continue to take these movements at your pace, so back into cat. But if you want to move on a diagonal, as we move into cow, instead of moving straight forward, move toward one hip, or one knee. So you're kind of moving into cow, tipping to one side a little bit. And then round your spine into the opposite hip for a diagonal cat stretch. And then move back toward that opposite knee into cow. And back into cat. So we're moving on this diagonal, same diagonal, forward and back into cow, if this feels good for you. And then back into cat. Come into a seated neutral position, and then we'll move in the opposite diagonal. So lifting your chest toward the other knee or other hip. And then exhale as you round your spine toward the diagonal or the opposite hip. Inhale, lifting up toward the opposite knee. And back into your hip. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lifting up towards your knee. And then exhale back towards your hip. Good. Come back to a seated position. And we'll start to, let's take some side bends actually. So reach one arm up, have your other arm on your legs. You're going to reach nice and tall first. So reaching tall, so this is not a side stretch. And then bring your arm as if you're drawing a line down the side of your body toward the floor. And then imagine reaching toward the floor to pick something up, but you're not going to touch the floor. So you're just feeling a side crunch. And then we're going to come back all the way up. Reach, reach, reach to the top shelf. And then bring your arms slowly down. So we're really working into one side of the body, kind of squeezing it, hugging it in, and then reaching up. You can always keep your elbow bent as you're doing this. And then coming back down last time, reaching down toward the floor, bit of a side crunch, and then lifting it up, releasing that tension. Bring that hand down onto your knee, and then reach the other arm up. Reach, 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 and then draw that line down the side of your body all the way as if you're going to reach toward the floor. If you have a block there, maybe you could touch that block, kind of hugging it in on the side. And then inhale, lifting up, reaching up, as if you're trying to reach something from the top shelf. And then coming down, reaching toward the ground, lifting up, reaching up as high as you can. Good. I like all the variations, especially if there's any shoulder pain. And let's do this last stretch. Good. And bring your hand down towards your knee. Let's do some leaning forward and tilting back. So make sure you're not able to easily touch the back of your chair. So you might switch forward a little bit. Working a little bit more into the torso. Make sure your feet are planted as you lean forward, and as you lean back, see if you can hold it without touching your chair. And we'll do this slowly a few times, and we'll start to move into it a little bit more. But just really feeling that deep core engagement as you lean back and trying to keep it as you lean forward, okay? So now adding those arms in as you lean back, doing those bicep curls or hammer curls. Those are the ones I like better. And then reaching back as you lean forward. And when you reach back, see if you can kind of like lift your arms a little bit more or squeeze them together, getting your triceps working. And then bicep curl, leaning back, lean forward, a tricep engagement, and then back. And we can do this a little bit faster, and forward, and leaning back, and forward. Take this at your pace, slower or faster than I'm moving. So slower, you're engaging those muscles, you're strengthening a little bit more. Faster is bringing in more cardio, a little bit more breath work. Good, keep it up, doing good. Jim, I like all your punching movements. We'll definitely start doing those. And one or two more. Good. So come back up to that bicep curl, and I'm gonna go with Jim's lead. And we're gonna take a cross body. You could be a punch out, or if you wanna just grab out, reaching your fingertips up, and then bring it back to center. And then the other side, reaching out or punching it out. And you can go faster or slower than I am, okay? So you can alternate. Good. But mindfully working through your torso as it's kind of twisting each time. So make sure that this twist is good for you, good for your spine. Really trying to reach, maybe reaching higher. Ooh, good. Nice. And then maybe reaching lower. Nice. And then I like to get the legs involved in this as well. So come back to a neutral spine, place your hands on the ground. We'll get the legs warmed up a little bit so we can incorporate that with the legs. Let's do some heel lifts and lowering them down. Feel those calves working, lifting and lowering several times. Getting your toes, feet. If you want to do this with your feet on blocks, feel free. And then lifting just your toes and lowering them. Maybe taking little taps. And then let's do alternating. Heel on one side is lifted. On the other side, my toes are lifted. So see if you could do that. And then switch, heel on one side and toes on the other side. And then switch, and switch, and switch. Take this at your pace. A little bit of coordination. Make sure you're breathing. Good. And then we're going to work into the knees. So extend, you might want to sit back a little bit on your chair. Extend one leg out. Feel your knee. Notice how it's feeling. If you want to take a little massage or rub into your knee and your quad, feel free. And then do the other leg. Massaging into your knee. I always need knee massages, so and then we'll alternate. So kicking one leg, step it down, other leg, step it down. So as we're doing this, we're going to alternate those arms. So the opposite arm is going to reach out and then come back in with your leg. So arm and leg, excuse me, and you're reaching across your body. You can go faster. Staying mindful with this twist. Maybe feeling it into your hamstrings. If you want to reach a little bit more, you could. Nice. And then maybe reaching up higher as you do it. Good. And reaching down lower. Nice. That's awesome. Great. Good. So hopefully your knees are getting oiled up and you can bring it back to seated center. And we'll start to work into the hips. So maybe starting with your foot on the ground, noticing how it's feeling first, and then starting to lift it up, using your hip muscles as much as you can, and then using your hand. So I know I say this every time, but I tend to use my arm muscles way more than I need to. for this movement. Use your hand and your arm more as a guide if possible. And then going the opposite direction. And breathing. This is a lot of work in a lot of these muscles in here. So, and taking some zigzag movements, back and forth. And let's do some up and down movements too. Just up and down, up and down. Good. One more, and let it go. Let your leg, lean back in your chair and let your leg extend out. Maybe take a little massage into your hip, letting it stretch out. Take a breath. And then we'll come over to the other side. So first, starting with your foot on the ground, noticing how that is feeling. And slowly starting to bring it into those hip circles. Exploring how far in each direction you can go without pain. I know sometimes there's popping, that's up to you, just staying away from pain. Other direction. I even have pain, or sorry, not pain, I even have popping in my hips, but there's no pain at all, and I don't have any problem with my hips, so it should be fine. And then that diagonal side to side, making some Z movements. Take a nice deep breath, and then let's go up and down with your knee. Nice. And last one. Place your foot down, maybe sit back in your chair and just let it stretch out, let it relax. You can massage it a little bit. Good. So I definitely need a drink, and I'll take a little drink break. And we're going to go for our walk. I'm going to imagine myself in the Grand Canyon. So once you're done with your drink and ready to go, get on your backpack. Make sure you've got all your necessary provisions, and we'll start to lift those heels, maybe lift your whole foot, and imagining the beauty of your walk. So one part of the walk or the hike that I took with my son, we hiked down into the canyon, just about 2 miles, but it was a very steep 2 miles. And he loved it. He's 11. And it was just so beautiful, so beautiful. And it was early in the morning, so it's nice and cool. But then on our way back, it was tough. You know, we were breathing hard, and I don't think he has done such a steep hike, maybe ever. So I think he started out a little bit harder than he should have, and kind of got a little headache and was tired. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go as slow as possible. And you know, notice what we see. And it was just so cool to like take one slow step at a time and notice each, you know, a crack in the rocks, or a little tiny flower, or a little lizard that ran by. And it was really, yeah, it was just amazing. It was a great experience to have with him. So. All right, so taking a couple more moments, maybe crossing your body with your arms, taking those wider steps, and then bringing your feet closer together. I'm hot. I don't know about you, but this is good work. So slowing it down and stopping mindfully, sitting up nice and tall. And let's do a forward fold. It could be simply seated with both legs on the floor with a bolster or something underneath. Or if you'd like to take a figure 4 and bring one leg up, one ankle up over your knee, feel free to do that. You can take some ankle circles and maybe massage into your calf and your shin, massage your foot. Maybe folding forward a little bit more, not forcing anything, noticing where you feel your tension, and send your breath into any areas of tension. Stretch and see if you can use your breath to soften, to surrender. And we'll inhale, coming back up, placing your foot back down, switching sides, and taking any movements or adjustments on this side. So rolling your ankle, massaging your foot, toes, shin, calf. Breathing, and then maybe folding forward more. So thinking ahead just a little bit, if you have that stick or strap next to you. So mine's on the floor, so this is a good point for me to place my foot down. I'm in that forward fold position so I can grab it easily. And then bring it on up, whatever you may have, up to your lap, seated in the middle of your chair, a little bit forward in your chair. And also, just notice what's around you. In case there's something that, especially if you have a big stick like I do, that you aren't going to hit something or cause any damage or anything. So go ahead and lift your stick up in front. And then gently turn toward one side for a spinal twist. Come back to center and twist to the other side. So really trying to use mostly your deep core muscles. Back to center, to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Let's do this one more time. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale. Exhale to the side. Inhale back to center. Good. Bring the stick or strap in, and you might want to spread your hands out a little bit more. We're going to kind of pretend like you've got a big strong weight in your hands and you're just stretching it up. And if it feels good, maybe pulling it back a little bit, feeling more of a stretch in your shoulders, and then bringing it back to your chin. Good. Let's do that again, lifting it up, pressing it tall, maybe pulling it back a little bit, and then bringing it back to your chin one more time. Inhaling, lifting it up, maybe reach it back. Good, and back to your chin. Nice. So go ahead, you can place it on your lap if you want to. Just shake your hands out if there's any tension in your hands or fingers. Make fists, and then just spread your fingers out wide. Make fists, and spread them out. One more time. Good. Woo. Shining out all of your light. Shake them out. Bring your hands back to your stick or strap and imagining that we're kayaking. So you're going to dig one side into the water and then the other side. And this is where you might hit something. I have the couch behind me, but you can take some really big strokes side to side, being mindful about your speed and your movement, but feel free to go faster if that feels good for you. And just really imagine digging into the water and pulling it and going faster with those nice intentional strokes. So I do kayak, I've shared that with you, and keep moving. I need to move my chair forward because I keep hitting the couch. And what I've learned is that I don't go faster when I go deeper. I go faster when my paddle is just in the water, but I take a longer stroke. So if you can reach a little bit farther forward, see if you could do that. Reaching and then pulling it back as far as you can. Good. Nice. Now, see if you could go in the opposite direction. So if you're in a kayak, you're going backward now. So you're pressing, so you're digging behind you and you're pressing that paddle forward. And yeah, so see if you can go backwards. This feels different. Ooh, keep breathing. This is really good for the shoulders, the neck. Good. Remember, you can always spread your hands out farther or have them closer. Good. Beautiful. Just a couple more. Nice. Good. And then come back to center. Bring your pole or strap down to your legs. Bring your legs out a little bit farther. So we're basically going to do a warrior two position. So one leg could be straight, doesn't have to be, and the other knee is bent. So you can kind of adjust in your seat where you want to be with that. Good. And then from our warrior two position, our arms are going to reach up. And then keeping that front foot really planted good, so it's nice and strong. Take a little bit of a bend toward that front knee, and then come back up to center and toward that back leg. Back up to center. So this could be just a little bit or more, depending on how it's feeling for you. A nice stretch. Good. Cool. Bring it down to your chest and down to your legs. We'll switch over to the other side. Warrior two, one leg out a little bit more, and the front knee is bent and nice and sturdy. So reaching up nice and tall, and make sure that front foot is supporting you as you lean over to the side. And come back up to center and to the other side. And to center. Another time. Nice. Good. Bring your hands down, pull down, bring your feet back to center. And so if you would like to use it as we stand up, kind of like a little support, feel free. You could use it I'm going to move my mat. You could use it in one hand, depending on how your arms and hands are doing. You could also use it in front of you with one hand on top of the other. You could also use it like this to kind of press into your thighs. So, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's start here and pressing it onto your thighs as you find some lift from your seat. Let's do that first, and then we'll try the other way next. So lifting and lowering a few times, really feeling into your knees and feet, noticing how everything's feeling. Taking your time and breathing and using this as a strength building exercise. Working into your glutes, quads, hamstrings. Good, 1 or 2 more times. And then sit down. Now let's bring the pole to the center. Make sure that you're not on a slippery floor. So hopefully there's either something on the end of your pole or you have a mat or a rug underneath you. Bring your hands out in front. And I was gonna say your dominant hand on top, but I feel like putting my non-dominant hand on top. So notice which hand you'd like to help you out a little bit more. And then from here, starting to rise up into that squat position and lower. Let's do that 3 or 4 times. So lifting up, that little bit of support and lowering down. Notice how that feels, going a little bit higher each time, maybe 1 more time, and eventually coming to standing. And I'm kind of moving mine to the side a little bit just so you can see me from a little bit of an angle. But just staying there with it. You can rock side to side. If you want to change your hands, put the other hand on top, feel free. And then we're going to use this with our balance, but please feel free to use this and a chair or this and a table. I will demonstrate. You could also just use this as long as you're not on a slippery floor. So I'm going to move around toward the side of my chair and kind of use both. But I'm going to focus more on this stick, just to make it a little bit more fun. So notice this stick, how nice and straight and tall it is, and arrange your spine in the same way. Nice and straight and tall, although it doesn't have to be as stiff as that. You could still have flexibility in your spine. Good. And then whether you're holding onto a chair or table as well, either way, just planting your weight into one foot and then lifting the other knee up and placing it back down. Let's do that 3 times with that one knee up and down. You could also guide it up and try this just with the stick if that is safe for you. So just a few times there. And then, so release any tension in your standing foot. And we'll bring your awareness back to that foot. So allowing the same foot to be the standing foot. So this time lifting your knee up. And then maybe making contact with your foot to your leg into a tree pose. So that toe could be on the ground for your tree pose. Your foot could be to your calf or maybe up higher for your tree pose. So notice if you want to hang on to your chair or hang on to your stick for support, find your focal point, something that's not moving, and then see if you could release one hand to allow you to spread your branches. Really focusing into your standing foot to keep you supported. Nice, strong roots. A few times. Nice. Good. Woo, that's a lot of energy. So bring your other foot down. Shake out your standing foot or kind of roll your ankle. And then we'll switch over to the other side. So I'm moving my chair just so I stay on screen. And bringing my stick into the other hand. The other foot is the standing foot now. So I was standing on my left foot before, now I'm standing on my right foot. And bringing your other knee up, maybe 3 or 4 times. Just bringing your knee up and down, Lifting, making sure you're lifting through your hip muscles and that you're not tilting to one side or the other, that you're really lifting up and down. Good. So if you need to shake out your standing foot for a moment, do that. Pressing your standing foot into the ground, feeling that strong balance. Lift your other knee up. One foot in mountain pose. And then maybe making contact, resting your foot on your calf or the inside of your ankle. And still standing up nice and tall as you find balance. Find a focal point, something that's not moving in front of you. So not the screen, be some other spot on the floor maybe. And then if you're feeling steady, you could release one hand, either the hand on the chair or the hand on the stick, and create that branch. It could be a steady branch, or it could be a branch moving in the breeze. Breathing. Nice. Very good. And then finding your support, stepping your foot out and rolling the ankle of your standing foot, shaking it out. Nice. So we're going to come down onto the floor next. Please mindfully make your way to your relaxation pose, either in the chair, on the floor, or somewhere else. And when you get there, feel free to take any movements like rocking your knees side to side or hugging your knees. Or you could take a stretch like a butterfly pose. Allowing yourself to find this stillness, this deep relaxation and time of healing for your body and your mind, for your emotions, for your spirit. Breathing in and out through your heart center. Allowing each exhale to draw you deeper into relaxation. I have a short poem that I read on Wednesday in class that I'd like to share with you. It is called Breath. Breath, the mindful breath, the rhythm out and in, the wave that washes through our days, creating space for stillness, sorrow, joy, or exaltation. Full, then empty, ebb and flow. Breath accompanies each step into the unknown. In the breath, the soul finds an opportunity to speak. Images or intuition, poetry or wordless wisdom come and go. No effort but to breathe and listen. And as you are listening and breathing, bringing awareness to a Lovingkindness Meta Meditation. Bring to mind someone you dearly love. Someone who is easy to love, even an animal. And simply say to this being, may you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you generate love and compassion. May you know acceptance and understanding. May you experience contentment and peace. And now, with that same feeling of love, bring to mind someone who is maybe an acquaintance, someone you might not know very well, but someone you would like to bless. Bring them to mind with these same feelings of love and say to them, may you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you generate love and compassion. May you know acceptance and understanding. May you experience contentment and peace. And now bring to mind someone who may be difficult to love, or someone you might have a quarrel with. With these same feelings of love, say these words to them. May you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you generate love and compassion. May you know acceptance and understanding. May you experience contentment and peace. And now, bringing yourself to mind, allowing the full depth of love to be extended to yourself as you say to yourself, may you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you generate love and compassion. May you know acceptance and understanding. May you experience contentment and peace. Breathe in and out of your heart center love, contentment, and peace. Allowing these to radiate through your whole being, rejuvenating, bringing vital life and joy. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Breathing in and out of your heart center. Allowing the energy of your breath to extend down your arms and your legs. Take some gentle movements in your fingers and toes. Maybe take a long body stretch or bend your knees. eventually coming over to one side in a supported position where you could take a moment of gratitude. And eventually sitting up or staying laying down. Maybe bringing your hands to your heart or in prayer pose. And we'll close out together. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me this honor of leading you through your practice. The light and love in me sees the light and love in each one of you. Namaste.